With the midterm elections officially now in the rearview mirror after the result in Georgia on Tuesday night, a number of Republican lawmakers yesterday directly blamed former President Donald Trump for their party's shortcomings.
President Trump lost again, and I know a lot of people in our party love the president, former president, but he's, if you will, the kiss of death for somebody who wants to win a general election.
I think his obsession with the 2020 election became an albatross and a real liability for people who are running, especially in swing states.
I think he's less relevant all the time. Again, even if you capture all of the Trump voters, you may be able to win a primary, but you're not necessarily going to win a general election.
Those candidates most closely associated with former President Trump underperformed. That is objective. And those who had a little bit more distance tended to do a little bit better.
Collection of Republicans there blaming Donald Trump, but not all of them were ready to go all there, blaming Trump for the losses. Some pointed to the party's inability to earn more mail-in and early votes, while ignoring the fact that Donald Trump has spent years dissuading Republicans from using early and mail-in votes.
Is former President Trump's endorsement the kiss of death, as another Republican senator said today?
One thing Democrats have done a good job. They got their mail-in. They did a better job with early votes, mail-in and early voting. I think people vote based on what they think is important to them. They don't vote because one of us tells them they should vote that way.
Well, I don't think this was any referendum on President Trump. I think this is a referendum on us learning the cycle of how to run an election. We as Republicans have to learn about getting people out to vote. Cat's out of the bag with early voting.
Donald Trump's presence was so significant here. Republicans are ready to embrace him in 2024 as your standard bearer.
I don't quite see it that way. The Trump factor helps some and it hurts some, depending where you're at. Biden's not overly popular, but they won because I think their financing system is so much better than ours.
Yeah, I wonder when Lindsey's going to actually step away like he did after January the 6th. Lindsey, buddy, I've known you for a long time. Just want to give you a hint here. Just want to give you a tip. When your hero is sitting down with somebody who says they like Hitler, when he's sitting down with white nationalists, who he claims he doesn't know who he is, but you know he's lying, just like he said he didn't know who David Duke was, just like he said, at some point you got to walk away from him. This just doesn't get better. It keeps getting worse when he says he wants to terminate the United States Constitution just because he goes on Truth Social the next day and goes, nuh-uh, I didn't say that. Lindsey, the voters obviously showed you in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2022 that they're not as dumb as you and other Republicans think they are. And speaking of dumb, Adrian, a certain former Auburn football coach who's now a Republican senator said, well, the cat's out of the bag in early voting. I guess we got to figure that out. Adrian, I don't know. See, and here's the thing, okay? I'm such a patient man. But the stuff I've been saying about Donald Trump being bad for Republicans, I've been saying for 6 years. I've been telling Republicans for 6 years. I've been talking about this early vote thing forever. How many times have you heard me say on this show that we Republicans used to own early voting? Absentee ballots, we owned it. If I didn't get 85% of absentee ballots, I was pissed off on election night, and I would do everything to work those people. I would call people overseas that were in the military. I would say, we're sending you an absentee ballot. We worked it. The election was over by the time the polls closed in Florida because I would be pulling down a huge number of absentee ballots. And everybody said, how's the election going to go? I said, I don't know. I think I'm going to go over to Applebee's and get some riblets because I've won this election. It's over.
He's feeling
it's all over, nice. But the riblets. And they're acting. That was in 1994. And, well, I ate a lot of riblets from 94 to 2001. But that was a long time ago. And they're acting like this is something new. Like they act like, again, they're like little babies who play peekaboo. They cover their eyes, and they think that if they cover their eyes because they can't see anybody, nobody can see them. We can see them. They're acting really stupid, and they're pretending that the realities of modern politics still don't apply to them. They're just going to keep losing, aren't they?
They are, Joe. And look, I mean, to the point that you made, both Democrats and Republicans have been running early vote programs for as long as I can possibly remember, certainly as long as I've been working in politics. And so what I could not understand, Joe, this cycle in particular, was this, lack of ability to motivate their own voters to vote early, or saying, oh, if you vote early, if you vote absentee, it's fraudulent. I mean, they're doing this to themselves. It's only hurting themselves when they are saying to their voters, when candidates are saying, don't vote early, vote on Election Day. Case in point, Georgia. It was raining in most parts of Georgia this past Tuesday, which I'm sure obviously hurt a lot of turnout among Republicans who waited because that's what, their candidates told them to do. Wait, don't vote until Election Day.
They didn't like the early voting.
They didn't like the early voting. Democrats, we've been running strong early vote campaigns for a long time. It's a tale as old as time. So there's a lot of reasons, Joe, that I can't understand the Republican Party, but this is one that really bewilders me because it's a tactic that they're criticizing, which both Democrats and Republicans have utilized for a long time. If you vote early, you can track your voters more easily. You can track, where the progress is, where you need to spend a little bit more money. You can sort of tweak your campaign strategy around it. So this one is baffles me just as much as it baffles you.